The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
Just like candy. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ask for Candy, where a bunch of powerhouse men and women get together online to talk about love, sex, relationships, and what it takes to be amazing on the daily. Who I am Candace Harper, lovecoach.com, honey. I help hard-working women and couples who have survived abuse be vibrant, alive, magnetic, and passionate while creating healthy, intimate relationships. And I'm coming to you from the amazing Gotham Podcast Studios on 38th Street in Midtown Manhattan. And the theme of this summer's Ask for Candy is Badass Bachelors.
All right now.
Yes, honey. Are you a badass bachelor? If you think you might be and want to be an August guest, plug your wares and possibly meet some ladies or gentlemen. Stay tuned to the end of the show to hear the criteria. But first, happy Monday, everybody.
Happy Monday.
Right? It's a monsoon out there.
It's just like a mini hurricane.
Right?
It's crazy.
It's
like flood waters rising.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's
like
epic.
Dangerous levels of summertime monsoon.
That's right. But we're here. We made it.
We pressed
our way. We got here.
I'm so excited. My guest tonight, Xavier, who I'm going to introduce in a little bit. I see Alex just trickled in on the Facebook. People are trickling in slowly. And I'm going to introduce you in a little bit, but I just want to tell everybody where they're listening in and where they can catch us.
Do what you got to do.
Okay.
I'm right here.
All right. So you're probably listening maybe on your TuneIn app when you're to Armed Radio on your smart device. If you are, well, if you're on the Facebook and you were expecting Armed Radio, tonight we're not live on Armed Radio. However, you know, we do replays, so you'll be able to catch us on Spreaker. You'll be able to get us on iHeart. Spotify, you'll be able to get us on.
Yeah.
Or maybe, right? Yay, Spotify. Maybe you're live here on the Facebook. I see Alex joined us and, you know, people might trickle in. Hopefully you're not caught out there in the rain. Hopefully you can come in and, you know, sit down and converse with us like we do. And you know that if questions come up and there's things that you want to talk about that you want us to cover, but you're shy, you can always email me at askforcandypodcast@gmail.com and those questions will be answered in a later broadcast. Hi, Noelle, who just came in. Now, this is the time where we take a moment and we share. So, Xavier, feel free if you want to share us anywhere. And those of you who are coming in on the live, if you want to share us anywhere, I'm about to share to our group, which is Ask for Candy Podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, and those of you
and the
watching,
Facebook Live page is what again?
The Facebook Live page is my page, so it's the Candace Harper. And you also, actually, maybe I should share it. I'll share it to my business page. If you go to Candace Harper Love Coach, you'll see it there too. Or you can go to the Ask for Candy group and you can join, which I would love that. You can also join the Armed Radio group news group so that you know all about, you know, what we're doing, when we're doing it. And then you can also tune into other really great podcasts they have on the channel. But right now I am sharing to my business page. I think if it comes up, I don't know. I'm on a phone. My computer ain't acting right. Mercury is in retrograde. Everything is
all right.
Right? It's okay.
All right.
Everything's all topsy-turvy. But here's the great thing about social media is that you can share in perpetuity.
That's
I
right.
feel like.
That's right. Goes on and on.
Right?
And this is being recorded.
So, you know, we do what we got to do.
Do what we got to do.
Right? So like I said, I'm Candace Harper, lovecoach.com. My talent is conversation. My passion is personal growth. And my purpose is to teach and inspire radical self-acceptance in myself and others so that we can all have our best possible love life.
That's a beautiful thing.
Right?
Yeah.
I think we all deserve, that's what we're here for.
I hope so. We're all here to be connected, right?
Yeah, and
right?
experience love. And so that's why this is a conversation. We're not here to hand down a bunch of dating or relationship rules or rights and wrongs.
Nah.
We're not here to shame anybody's love situation. Our only intention is to create audacious intimacy, seductive singlehoods, and,
all right.
Right? And healthy relationships.
I want some of that.
So tonight and every Monday night, we're going to do what we do, which is have a conversation that'll engage, educate, and or enlighten all of us in the areas of love, sex, relationships, and vibrating high. And tonight, my guest is Xavier Jernigan.
Hey,
Yay!
what's up? What's happening?
I want to tell the people some things about you. I'm very excited that you're here.
Yeah,
because
glad to be here.
I'm glad that you're glad because you came through a mutual friend of ours.
Yes.
Who I love and adore.
I love and adore her too.
Right?
I love and adore her husband. The good people.
Yes, they're such a great family.
People. Yeah. I was at their wedding.
So was I.
Yes.
Why did we not meet?
Listen, I don't know. You know.
Right?
Maybe Mercury was in retrograde.
Right, then too. That was a really great wedding. I actually sang at the ceremony.
Oh, what?
Yeah. It must not have been that good.
No, I'm not saying that. I just got to I've been to a lot of weddings.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They've been married for a while now.
Yeah, they have. It's been like, what, it's 2003? Or no, it's
2006, 2007.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a minute.
Yeah.
I sang At Last.
I do remember that.
Do you?
Okay,
I was
James.
all in gold. Well, I tried to. Tried to channel her a little bit.
Give the people what they wanted.
Give the people what they want. It's all about love.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful wedding.
It was
food.
Oh, right. Yeah. Like the you know what I remember more than anything?
What?
The cocktail, party. It was like a cocktail
Yes.
party before the reception.
And there were like little stations everywhere. Like
big stations everywhere.
Oh my gosh. That was crazy.
Yeah, like a big shrimp. I
right?
Yeah.
And they had those beef patty, the party size ones that I must have eaten like 25 of them.
So you ain't even eat anything when it's time for dinner.
I'm sure I did. Let me be truthful.
But that's what we're going to do. Truth and love.
Right? Exactly.
Truth and love. That's what we're going to deal with today.
Exactly. I can always eat. That's not a problem.
Nothing wrong with that.
So let me tell the people about you. So Xavier Jernigan is the head of cultural partnerships at Spotify, providing Spotify users more culturally relevant programming around holidays, sports, gaming, TV and film, social impact, Broadway, and heritage months like Black History Month, Women's History Month, Pride Month.
All of that.
So you're bringing all of that good, juicy culture into Spotify.
Yeah. Me and my team, we're the cultural voice of Spotify in a nutshell.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. We're going to get into more about your passion and stuff later, but do you really love that? That sounds like such an enriching job.
I love it. I'm thankful. I made it all up.
That's
the best job you can have.
Right?
You write your own job description.
Like full self-expression.
Full self-expression. And then plus the hosting stuff that you're going to get into. So
yeah.
I'm very fulfilled in my paid work.
I love that.
And then there's some unpaid work that I do that you're going to talk about later.
Okay.
So, it's all good. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So Xavier is also the face of Spotify's hit music industry-facing video tutorial series, The Game Plan. And he's also the host of 2 Spotify original podcasts, Showstopper, a podcast about the memorable music moments in TV shows and movies, which that sounds so amazing.
Oh, it's
I'm
fun.
going to have to listen to that.
Yeah, every episode is about either a movie or a TV series, and I talk to the writers, the directors, the actors, the music supervisors, the composers about those music moments in the show and how they move the plot along. So you do everything from Queen Sugar with Michelle Ndegeocello to there's a Spike Lee episode. She's Got to Have It, Edgar Wright, Baby Driver, and a lot of different things like that. So it's real cool. It's about how the music moves everything along.
And so you get to talk about what their creative process was in choosing it and things like that.
And then those plot points, you know what I mean? And how music accents those things and moving along. There's an Insecure episode with Yvonne Orji and Raphael Sadiq, who's the music, composer for that. So it's really great.
I'm a huge Raphael Sadiq fan. I love
Oh, me too. He's literally one of my all-time favorite artists. So if you guys want to check that out, go on Spotify and search Showstopper.
So, and he also does like I know that he's the musical director for the show itself, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the actual composer. So the score that you hear underneath, that's what he composes.
Wow.
He composes that live.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I always wondered about it, but does that also mean, because I know they feature a lot of new artists and things like that.
Yeah, we talk about all of that.
Yeah, do you?
Y'all go to Showstopper, go to Spotify, search Showstopper.
Out.
And check that out. I'm the season 2 host. That's when I came on. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. And you also host Culture Now Streaming.
Yeah, that's a newer podcast that we started this year. And I go down to these different cultural conferences. So I was at Cannes. Yeah. We built a beautiful studio on the Spotify beach there. Oh, wow. And we talk about the cultural zeitgeist. And I interview different people about it. So everyone from our founder and CEO, Daniel Ek, sat down and talked to me, to the CMO of Levi's, the CMO of Hilton, Rebecca Meemkoff. And so a whole bunch of cool people sat down with me, had some really cool conversations about culture and what they're seeing in creativity. Yeah. We were down in CES at Vegas. So those are the 2 seasons. They're mini seasons. Yeah. And they're just 10 to 15 minute episodes about what we're seeing each day. Yeah. So for people who aren't there, they can get immersed and kind of feel like they were there. So I'm their guide through that. Exactly.
Oh, what a fun job. Wait, you were really just at Cannes last month, though.
Yeah, that was just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stay on the road.
Yeah, that's good.
You got to go to where it is,
I hear that. Yeah. Absolutely. So Xavier is the founding member of the Kennedy Center Hip Hop Culture Council, where he works to bring hip hop focused events and programming to our nation's performing arts center. And he was also named to Black Enterprise's 2018 Top Tech Influencers list in the September-October issue.
All right now.
Go ahead, Xavier.
Yeah, I was happy about that. When your people support you and they're excited about you.
Absolutely.
And what you're doing, it means a lot.
Acknowledgement is good. It feels good, right? Like, I feel like we don't do what we do for it. It's all about really, being able to express yourself and stuff. But when you get it, when
you get it feels good. I'm like, what about next year, y'all?
Right?
Right.
Like, this wasn't for nothing.
Right. Try to get ahead.
Yeah.
Don't want to fall off. Right. That acknowledgement feels good.
Yeah. Also in Xavier's career, he created and executed breakthrough digital marketing campaigns for artists such as Erykah Badu, Amy Winehouse, and Q-Tip, to name a few. And you're also a fellow NYU graduate alum.
I am. First and foremost, FAMU, Florida A&M University.
Yeah.
That comes first.
That's first.
But my second master's I got from NYU. Yeah, Master of Arts in Music Business. So I'm actually using all of my degrees. So.
And you were valedictorian, weren't you?
I was valedictorian when I graduated.
Xavier, you're an accomplished man, honey.
Nah, man, I'm just blessed.
I went to NYU to get my MFA also, but I was not valedictorian.
That's all right. I
was glad to just get through there. And no, actually, that's probably the most studious I was, because my undergraduate degree I messed around a lot. But
NYU's too expensive to be messing
around.
Right,
you can't. You have to take it seriously, right?
Take it real serious. It's still the most expensive school in the country.
It's crazy.
Still,
I'm still paying off those student loans.
Me too. But guess what? Can I share this?
Yes.
I just paid off my second to last student loan on Friday.
Shut it.
Come on now.
Let me high five you over the course, right? Because I feel that. That's real.
Because these student loans and us, that's a relationship.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's a loving relationship,
right?
But it's a relationship nonetheless.
It's like the gauntlet.
You know what I mean? Right? So I was glad for that relationship to come to an end.
Yes.
So I got one more to go.
That's huge.
Man, I slept good.
Did you? Hopefully you celebrated a little. Hopefully you had like a nice steak.
You did some sleep. I just needed some good sleep.
Yeah.
It felt good.
I hear that. Good. That's fantastic.
Thankful.
And so what else? And then you said Florida A&M already. Mm-hmm. And then you're also a deacon at Emmanuel Baptist Church.
That's the unpaid work I was referring to. So I'm a deacon at Emmanuel Baptist Church. So in a nutshell, I serve. So I do communion. I baptize people.
Do you?
I pray for people. I have to speak a lot in service, but it's just something I'm thankful to do. I've been ordained for about 3 years. So
spiritual fulfillment.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it's
in service of God. So that's, and Kurt and Renee, who we were talking about earlier, y'all, we met at Emmanuel Baptist Church in Brooklyn. Shameless plug. Emmanuel Baptist Church. EBCconnects.com if you want to check it out. It's the coolest church you'll ever want to check out.
Yeah.
So it's real regular.
I have to come.
You absolutely should come.
They've invited me before. I live all the way in Harlem, and when you live in Harlem, it's easy to develop a story that Brooklyn is way too far.
That's true. All services stream live though, so you can check it out live before you come. But a lot of Harlem people do make the trek down.
Do they?
Yeah.
Y'all have a good choir?
Oh, come on now. Bomb choir.
A bomb choir?
No, for real. That's one
worth
of the things
that alone is worth it.
Yeah, that was one of the things that, roped me into coming when the music was right.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Beautiful, beautiful music and an amazing word.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I might have to come visit
you come through, y'all will see me out there blessing the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to.
I love that.
Yeah.
And what's something else that's not necessarily in your bio that you want people to know? Maybe like a personal thing, maybe something you don't normally tell people. We're going to get into the vulnerability quiz, so we're going to go there. But
I don't know. I just love life, man. Really. I'm just happy to be here. I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida. There you go. That's not. I didn't put that in my bio, not because it's just a lot there, and I know you had to edit a lot down. But born and raised Daytona Beach, Florida.
Wow.
And I've been here for 18 years, Brooklyn.
Wow.
Brooklyn stand up.
Yeah.
So
Do you know that my first beach vacation was my freshman year, spring break,
and
went to Daytona. I mean, my first as on my own.
I already know.
Went to Daytona Beach.
See, okay, here's a fun fact. So my first job was working at a McDonald's on the beach side.
Oh, really?
In Daytona. So we had to work all the spring breaks. And it would be packed from the time. Before we opened the door, people would be lined up outside. Yeah. It's the best time.
I'm sure I ate McDonald's probably every day in that stage of my life when I was there.
And I may have served it too.
Right? The one thing that's amazing, that because if I'm remembering correctly, on Daytona you can drive on the beach, right?
That's right. You can drive on the beach. It's the birthplace of NASCAR.
Yeah.
So NASCAR is headquartered in Daytona. So it's all about sand and car culture and bike, like motorcycle culture.
Yeah.
Is like, that's what the city's about.
Does your family still live there?
Yeah, my mom's still there.
Is she?
She's there right now. Yeah.
Oh, I love her for that. I was like, when I was there, I have to say, I did think, like, I wonder what it'd be like to be a local and live here all the time.
It was a great place to grow up.
Was
man.
it?
And then Bethune-Cookman University's there, so just growing up around a historically black college, so I had that cultural aspect from the, HBCU experience to beach culture to, it was great.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so I get down a couple times a year. Want to get down more often, though.
Yeah. I would go back. It's nice.
It is.
It was nice there. Mean, at least it was, 20 or some years,
however
long ago that was.
Looks a little different, but
Are you ready to jump into the vulnerability quiz?
I'm ready to do whatever you need me to do.
All right. I love that. Okay. So we're going to start with the first question. Now, here's the thing. Some of these questions I make up through my coaching and things like that. And then a couple of them I stole from a New York Times article called Questions to Fall in Love.
Ooh.
Some of them are questions I suggest people use for like first dates and things like that. But the whole idea of the vulnerability quiz is that you are, hi, Bruce Green just joined us.
What up, Bruce Green?
Is that you are, you're open to share yourself, obviously, as much as you want to.
Yeah.
Nothing that makes you uncomfortable.
Okay.
But the idea is that this is a safe space, so it's an invitation to, let the listeners get to know you.
Okay.
And myself included. You ready?
I am.
Okay.
I'm pretty comfortable in my skin, y'all, so
good.
Let's do it.
First question is, what is your purpose?
My purpose is to help spread God's love and to be a light for God in every environment that I'm in. I know and understand that everything that we talked about on that bio is only because that's where God has strategically placed me to be a light for him.
Yeah.
That's it. So in how I treat people and how I go about my work, that's how I do it. I have to treat people not the way that I would want to treat them, but the way that God would have me to treat them. That's my purpose in this world, simple and plain.
I love that. That was, first of all, so clear and concise. And that's the whole point of doing this. I just want you to know, the whole point of doing this series is that I feel like, men especially get kind of a bad rap for not necessarily being purpose-driven or caring about their growth or caring about how they show up and who they are. And my whole point of doing this is to prove that that's not the case.
Absolutely not. I know I'm a product of a great mom and great father figures around me and my uncles and my father who helped to raise me. And I know and bonded with a lot of good brothers. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Great fathers, great uncles, you know what I mean? People who hold me up and make me tighter and make me sharper. So we're out there, y'all.
Yes. I love it. Okay, name something that you identify as a true expression of who you are.
Something I identify as a true expression of who I am?
Yeah.
Me, all of me. Like my whole thing is trying to be unapologetically myself.
Yes.
And not hold back.
Yeah.
So I'm in a place in my life where I've pretty much been open, but I just want to make sure and challenge myself each and every day that I'm not holding back any part of myself.
Yeah.
So being in touch with my feelings so I can acknowledge them and cycle through. Yeah. There was a point where I didn't always fully express my feelings, so I would kind of hold them back then they come out another way. I'm sure you do with that a lot in your profession
and personal life. I did.
So me, I say all of me.
Yeah.
I think all of me. I'm uniquely and wonderfully made, like us all. So I embrace all of who I am.
Yeah. I have a question to ask you, and just for your opinion about it, because I feel like there is this wave of, and it's a positive thing, of that being a lot in the conversation about just being fully self-expressed, being able to be fully who you are, unapologetic.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's a sort of a new thing in our generation.
Oh,
I feel like our parents' generation didn't have that so much.
Not at all. We're afforded a lot of things that they weren't.
Yeah.
Because they just had to make it.
Yeah. And I feel like with younger and younger people, it's like it's almost like a given.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like... I don't want to get too deep. Oh, guess.
Yeah, go ahead. That's what we're here
for. So I feel like, going back to the thing with like our parents' generations, like as we've gone and as they've accomplished things, like we can worry about and think about more things than they could. You know what I mean? Just like how, like, you know, we were inspired to go to school because I don't know about your household, but I'm assuming so. In my household, it was always told that you're going to college.
Yeah.
Like, so
like it was there was no question.
Right.
About
So
it.
graduating high school wasn't that big of a deal because it's like, well, you're supposed to graduate high school. You're supposed to go to college. So as we went further than they did, if you will, in terms of career stuff, now we can worry about and think about different things that they couldn't even think about.
Because they were more in survival mode a little bit.
That's right. Yeah. So we can think about more things like self-expression and how I want to, you know, portray myself in the world and, you know, evolve over time and think about self-evolution and self-discovery. Yeah. And they just didn't have, you know, they weren't afforded the ability to do that. They didn't have as much time, and time is that resource. It's a resource that's unrenewable. We can't, and we can't make more of it, but we kind of have more time to think about these things.
Those luxuries.
That's the exact word I was going to say. We have the luxury of time in the way that they didn't. Like, for example, so a lot of us can decide to have kids later. Yeah. Like, I'm going to be an older father than, say, my mom was. My mom had my brother at 18 and me at 19. Yeah. 13 months apart. Yeah. So when I think about where I am in different milestones in life at 30, at 35, I'm 42. I don't look it though.
No, you don't.
I'm 42 going on 43. Things I think about, like like how old I was and my brother was when she was at like 42. Yeah. She had like 2 kids in college.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like grown people.
Like grown people. You know
that she'd raised.
That's right. So just different things that we are afforded the opportunity to think about that they couldn't. Yeah. But she's able to think about some of those things now. Like she went back and finished her college undergrad degree and then went on and got a master's and now is working her dream job.
So she finished with her parenting not finished, but you know what I mean?
For sure.
Got you guys independent, and she still was at a young enough age where she could and
it's like these loops where like we were able to inspire her by going to school and then finishing, and then she went back and finished what she wanted to do.
That's amazing.
Now she can think about it later. So that time, she's just getting it more on the back end. On the back half, if you will. Yeah.
And is she in the conversation of like, I'm not only am I, doubling around and getting for myself, am I also like, wanting to be expressed? Is she in that conversation? Is she I'm unapologetic too? I'm doing this.
She's working on it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like she went natural a few years ago, for example.
Did she?
Yeah. Years ago, I'm sure she wasn't like,
oh no, they couldn't do that.
That wasn't even a possibility. Yeah. Like years ago in terms of
wasn't even considered.
Exactly. Considered years ago. So like just seeing things like that are just beautiful. And she's a grandparent and, my brother's married. So things like that. Yeah. Like, and then she wants, love and healthy relationships at this stage in her life. Yeah. So things like that too.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I was just thinking the other day how that never actually ends in your life. Like whether or not you're in a relationship, I can remember being very young and even just the thought of like my parents' relationship, I was like, gross. Like hopefully they don't. Really, as I get older, I realized that idea of having that connection with someone, it never goes away. Yeah, like even my grandma in her 80s had a boyfriend.
No, go ahead,
I know, right?
Go ahead, Grammy. No, I was just saying this to a friend the other day. Like I want my mom to have companionship and commitment and to be like happy in that way. Yeah. As much as she loves her kids and her grandkids, that's something we can't give her. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we're all wired for relationship. We're all like wired for love. God is love. So we're going to yearn and thirst for that. So I want her to have that too. Yeah. Yeah. In the way that she deserves.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Oh, supportive son.
I love my mom.
Okay, let's do another question. So let's do this question. What accomplishment are you most proud of?
What accomplishment I'm most proud of? Being ordained as a deacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, by far and away.
Okay.
Far and away.
Now, go ahead.
Because it's for life. Yeah. That's a position in the church that's for life.
Gotcha.
So to be ordained to, do baby dedications, and people ask me to hold their baby when they're dedicating their lives to raising this baby and give it back to Christ and then bring it up in that way. Yeah. To baptize people and bring them into the faith in that way, for me to be trusted each and every week to welcome the people into service or welcome the Holy Spirit into service or, get people excited about the offertory or, I've preached a sermon before. Like,
have you?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
All right, Xavier, you were spitting bars.
It was bars. It was all tied to hip hop.
Yeah,
really. Yeah, it was all.
That's
I got to talk
fabulous.
about stuff I know. It's on YouTube if you want to search it, y'all.
Okay.
But that I would say being ordained as a deacon meant the most to me because me, my mom, and my brother, I remember getting baptized all at the same time. We were all in the pool together, and my uncles are deacons, and so that was just important to me.
Yeah.
Being it goes back to my purpose. So it doesn't mean that you have to have a title in church per se.
No, but it meant something.
It meant a lot to me, and we had to do a lot of rigorous training and read a lot of books.
Did you?
It's very serious at a manual in terms of the process.
Yeah,
and I take it very, very seriously. So I would say being a deacon. Jobs come and go, and I love my job. Obviously, we talked about that already, but this is a job that doesn't.
Yeah.
So being a servant on behalf of God is a big deal to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. Okay, so what is your most desired future vision?
Most desired future vision?
Yeah.
Is just to be in step with God's will for me.
Okay.
So I go by that each and every day. I don't get too far ahead. Obviously, as human beings in this world, we plan ahead.
Yeah.
But I really try to focus on today.
Yeah.
And see the blessing
like being in the moment.
today. Yeah, because you know what? We try to skip over days to get to other days.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't get to those days if you don't get to this minute that you have right now.
Totally.
And the thing is, all we have is right now anyway.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow really isn't promised.
Yeah.
So I just try my best to focus on right now and what I can do right now. And I ask God for strength to do what I need to do today.
Yeah.
Because I know it's all headed somewhere. And it all ties back to it's just to be a light for God in a nutshell.
So have you ever, because here's the thing, I totally agree with you. I do think that presence, like even practicing presence is such a fulfilling thing. Like I feel like it, as far as mental health and emotional health, like just being able to be where you're at in the moment is so important. But do you feel like when you think in terms of things like, let's say vision boards or, like I know that I want my book to be a New York Times bestseller.
Yeah.
Like,
which I think is amazing.
Yeah. Right. Like you have to, like, I feel like there's a certain level of, balancing that clarity about what the vision is, but also finding a way to detach yourself from,
You're right. That's
right. Trying to force it and need it to instantly happen and all the stuff that we do that sabotages it.
You know what I'll say? I'll say I have a feeling about where I'm headed.
Yeah.
And where I'm headed is very much tied to now. I think it's more in a direction of doing more hosting and more hosting opportunities coming up on a bigger stage. Everything I'm doing right now is training. Everything we're all doing right now is training for where God is leading you.
Yeah.
So I'm just focused on trying to be the best I can be at it right now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have an idea about where it's headed, but I don't even want to get too wrapped up and tied to what I think that idea is because God keeps telling me
what it is,
that it's going to be bigger than what I even think.
Yeah.
So just be dope today, and then he'll take care of the rest.
It's always bigger than what we can dream it, right?
Always. Always. And especially if we do our part.
Yeah.
If we do our part, it's going to train us. And when those opportunities present themselves, we'll be ready.
Yeah.
So for me, to be more specific, I know, and I'm thankful that like all that stuff that you shared earlier, that's in my bio.
Was any of that stuff that you said to yourself, I'm going to accomplish this? Or is it like you said, like you just were open to, knowing what you love to do and aligning with that?
That's the beauty of it. And that's why like my story, guys, is a story that's all about just letting God lead the way. Because the company I worked for didn't exist 10 years ago. Yeah,
that's true.
The team in the department that I work on, I created it a year ago.
Wow.
Literally, God gave me the idea. I pitched it. It was a 2-minute conversation. And now that's a team that's very vital and important to Spotify. So these things are being created in real time. Yeah. Like my life is a real time creation and evolution. It's literally happening right now. Yeah. So if you pay attention to my journey in any way, you'll just see it's going to look a little different every single day.
Painting the picture as you go.
That's right. So that's why I said it's like me to the earlier question. Like the answer is me, because it's going to be a little different every single day because I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday. That's my goal. Be a little bit better than I was yesterday so I can be ready to do what God needs me to do to fulfill that purpose of being a light. So it all ties to that.
It totally makes sense.
I just don't want to box myself in too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have ideas and things that excite me.
Yeah.
But it's a lot in here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's going to just keep happening over time.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's awesome. Okay. So what is something that you always do when you're alone?
sleep, take time for myself, work out.
Okay.
I believe in just, holistic health.
Sure.
And you got to take care of yourself. That's a big one for me.
What do you consider like your favorite sort of self-care? Like I like to do yoga by the Hudson River.
That's dope.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like my self-care moment.
Yeah.
I take my little beagle with me.
Yeah.
And, especially when the sun is shining, to me, that's like heaven.
Yeah. For me, it's a workout every other day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I try to rest in between.
Okay.
Because going back to balancing the rest and balancing the working out.
Yeah.
So for me, I work out at home.
Okay.
Because that eliminates any excuses.
Yeah.
So
it does.
At the end of the day, it's me and the floor and turn some music on and then make it happen.
Yeah.
So I write all my workouts out ahead of time.
Do you design your own workouts?
I do.
Because there's a lot of free ones on YouTube.
Yo. I need to put mine up there.
Right? You should.
That's what my homie
just set up a
tells me.
camera.
My homie Kenny tells me to do that.
Yeah.
But I've designed it over years though.
Okay.
When I was starting out, I was just trying to get through some push-ups.
Just do it. Yeah.
So then it's turned into that. But I also like to ride my bike. I watch a lot of movies. Watch a lot of series.
Okay.
I read. I'm trying to read a book a month, but sometimes I don't do.
Yeah.
I get distracted and don't end up doing that. But I'm trying to get back to that.
Do you find that I find, hi Pascal who just joined us. What I find when it comes to reading, I used to be such a reader because my mom was a reading teacher.
Oh, wow.
But I feel like now with technology, everything is just so accessible on the phone and accessible. But I don't necessarily like to read books on my phone.
No. I like the physical. I like to flip pages.
Right?
I like to put my bookmark in there. It's that tactile, visceral experience.
Yeah.
And we came up in an era where you went to the music store, too,
right? You
know what I mean? And went in there. I loved going to the library.
Yes, the library.
And going to
do those even exist anymore?
You know what I mean? Record stores don't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, it's true.
So I like that tactile, visceral experience of reading. So I'll buy books, buy physical books. Excuse me, and read them that way. I'm thinking about trying audiobooks because maybe that'll help me.
Sometimes the audiobook. I've given into the audiobook thing every now and then.
Do you retain it the same way? Do you connect with it the same way?
It really depends because I'm somebody who likes personal growth books. I like stories too.
Yeah.
And it depends on the reader a lot of times. But with personal growth, I feel like, you can retain a lot of the stuff. You may or may not apply it just by listening to the book. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's that... the difference between knowing what you need to do and actually doing it. Man, it takes something more than just hearing it from somebody.
Yeah.
And
it's something about underlining.
And
that was valedictorian, so
right.
I'm super cool, but I was a nerd about it in terms of about my approach. But underlining, and if I come to a word that I didn't know, I write it down. I have a whole thing. I write it down and I look it up, and then I go back to this page and I write the page.
Which reinforces your understanding. I think it was Toni Morrison who said, Oprah was interviewing Toni Morrison, and I want to say that it was about Beloved. I love Toni Morrison, but she was talking about
I'm about to talk about her in like 2 seconds.
Are you?
Seriously.
Well, Oprah said to her, she's like, when I was first reading it, I had to keep going back. I had to keep reading through things and things I didn't fully understand.
Yeah.
And Toni Morrison was like, that is reading, my dear.
Oh, yeah.
That, right?
So 2 things. So Beloved is the hardest book I've ever read.
It's a hard book to read, yeah.
And it's beautiful and it's horrific, and I will never read it again because it was so hard. So I saw the Toni Morrison documentary. If you guys aren't aware of that, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it just ended at Brooklyn Academy of Music on Thursday.
Oh wow!
So the last showing was at 4:30. So I made my way to see it.
Yeah.
And she talks about all of that, and it talks about her career trajectory.
Yeah.
And she didn't blow up until she was in her 40s.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
So she had kids she was raising, and she was an editor at Random House, and so
just plugging away.
Yeah, that's just a reflection of what we've already been talking about here.
Yeah.
You don't know what the path is going to be.
Yeah.
But even through her job as an editor, she opened the door for Angela Davis to write her autobiography.
Oh wow.
And she Toni Morrison was the person to go and ask her to write an autobiography, which Angela Davis thought she was crazy because she was 28 years old.
Yeah.
Angela Davis was 28 years old.
What am I going to say?
Muhammad Ali, she asked him to write his autobiography, and she got him through that process.
Wow.
Like Bobby Seale.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, man. Like, so that was just very inspiring to me.
Yeah.
And also ties back to what I do a lot when I have time for myself. I'll go to the movies by myself. So I went and saw that by myself because I wanted to see it, and that time was the time that worked.
Yeah.
So I just needed to go.
Like, let me just go.
Right. Or I would have missed it.
Trying
to coordinate with
get the people together.
Which is a life lesson.
Yeah.
Like, don't miss out on life waiting on other people. Do what you got to do for you.
I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I like going to the movies by myself too.
It's great.
Right?
And it's the perfect way to unplug.
Yeah.
And it just be transported to
you
another
go when
world.
you want to go.
Man, it's the best. Right. Especially if you go to a theater that serves food like an Alamo.
Like real food, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I brought my own barbecue sauce.
Did you?
Listen.
That's fabulous.
I had a whole plan.
All right. So finish this sentence. I would like to have someone with whom I could share. Now that we're talking about going to the movies by yourself.
Share ... Say the sentence one more time for me, please.
I would like to have someone with whom I could share.
Ooh, man. let me think. Whom I could share.
I would like to have someone with whom I could share
my ideas with.
Oh.
Yeah, I guard
like creative ideas?
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
I have a lot of ideas.
Even the not so creative ones.
I have a lot of
like
ideas.
all of them.
I have a lot of ideas about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And everybody's not ready for them. Everybody, you can't share your ideas with everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to guard those things.
I agree. And it's interesting that you say that, because I was thinking about that today, and I think it was D.D. Jakes who talks about the giraffe and the turtle. Have you ever seen that?
No,
he did this thing
break that down for me.
It was on Super Soul Sessions, where he was talking about perspective, and he was saying how a giraffe can't tell a turtle his perspective and have him understand it, because when you're built to be tall,
that's right,
you're going to see things in a certain way that a turtle might not get.
That's
so it's
right.
not necessarily that people are
that's good.
It's not that they're against you or anything like that. It's that they're seeing from their perspective and their own limits.
I totally
and so you're
agree.
right. You have to be very, I think, selective, when you're a dreamer.
That's right.
And when you're a visionary, to share with dreamers and visionaries
That's
who
right.
understand what that means.
Everybody won't be able to get what you're doing. Everyone isn't equipped to see your point of view.
Yeah.
With the
and sometimes it can feel painful, because it's like if it's people you love or family or friends.
That's right.
Who are like, they don't see it. It feels like it's not they're not supporting you.
That's right.
Or they're putting you down, but really they're just looking through their lens.
That's right. And they know what they know.
Yeah.
Like, so this path that I'm on, I'm 1,000 miles from my hometown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a mid-sized city. I'm in New York City.
Yeah.
I live in Brooklyn. This plan, I couldn't have I didn't know the whole plan myself, but I couldn't have told all these people this plan and expected them to be on board with it or even understand it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
totally.
So I would say,
especially if they never did anything.
That's right. So someone
like,
I can share my ideas and my thoughts about whatever and not feel judged.
Yeah, I get that.
And just put it out there, even if they don't have to see the vision themselves either. But I would like to be able to talk about those things freely. Yeah. And thankfully, God has sent me a lot of people. A lot of people I trust that.
Yeah. And I think God does that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like our willingness, our openness to see them and recognize those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll say someone to share my ideas with.
Okay. Yeah. I love it. All right. So what's something that you feel a little guilty about?
Guilty.
Or maybe even not guilt, or maybe guilt, but something that you might feel like you need to clean up, as far as
I'm gonna answer it another way.
Okay.
But guilt is in the answer. I've been talking to my friend, one of my best friends in the world, Tanya, is streaming right now. What up, Tanya?
Hi, Tanya.
Tanya Bazemore.
What's up, honey?
We've been talking about this concept of neurotic guilt.
Okay.
And neurotic guilt is feeling bad about things you shouldn't feel bad about. For example, as a kid, all the way up to now in my life, I've always felt horrible if someone liked me, if a girl liked me, like romantically, and I didn't like her the same way.
Like you felt like you were doing something mean?
Yeah. And I'm not talking about like being mean in terms of how you express it back to her.
Just not feeling it.
Yeah. I felt horrible to the point of like it crippling me.
Yeah.
That's what neurotic guilt is, feeling bad about things you shouldn't feel bad about. And there are many, many applications to this. Yeah. So that's what I've been trying to work on, is like not feeling bad about things I shouldn't feel bad about. Yeah. Like not feeling bad about saying no to something that doesn't work for you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, so I used to feel bad about those things. And what I'm talking about too is like saying no to things that are good things. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I may not want to go to the third birthday party for the second kid. I mean, like, right. You know what I mean? That's great.
Right. I've been to every one of the first kid's birthday
parties. I dedicated your babies. Right. Like, come on, man. I checked something off the baby registry. Like, but I may not want to go drive way out to Jersey for 2 hours for a 3-year-old birthday party that they're not going to remember and they're going to cry the whole time.
Right.
I may not want to do that on my
Sunday. Like,
it's okay
to be a no.
Yeah. I may, not want to do that on my Sunday afternoon. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to work on not feeling guilty about choosing what I want to do.
Gotcha.
Like, it's okay.
I like that. I talk a lot about powerful yeses and powerful nos.
That's good.
Right? Because both are a complete sentence.
That's right. That's right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes is a complete sentence.
Like, have your yes really be a yes. Like, feel that yes.
And that's in the Bible.
Is it?
Yeah. Let your yes be your yes and your no be your no. Yes. Everything else comes from the evil one. Because when you start getting in that middle space, and into, then this drifts into people pleasing,
obligation,
and that weight, carrying that burden around, it can send you into a place that's not good. It can send you into a depressive state, possibly. Yeah, you know what I mean. I know I have friends and people I love that have felt guilty because they can't do everything for their family. Yeah, and
it's like you can't.
To the point where it's like hindering what they want to accomplish in their lives.
I feel like a lot of people, I feel like that's a very ordinary, common issue.
Yeah, so with that, I've had guilt about like, hey, I got to get my money straight before I can like get you, help you with bills. Yeah. Like
but you have to.
I got to put my oxygen mask on first. It says that for a reason. You'll be passed out on the ground trying to get everybody else straight. You got to put yours on first. Yeah. So I agree. So my thing is working on not feeling guilty about these things.
Gotcha. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot.
I'm trying to live my life in a way where like I can look myself in it. And I'm talking about I'm not perfect by any stretch. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I have my shortcomings. What? Of course.
I don't believe you.
Of course. But like I'm trying to live my life in a way where I can sleep good at night, where I can look myself in the mirror and know like I'm trying to be the best version of me I can be and be okay with that.
Absolutely.
And like be okay with the fact that I'm not perfect.
And what popped in my head based on what you were talking about, and we were saying the strong yeses and strong nos, with those nos, because I get that. Like I've had the guilty, feelings of like, oh, I'm saying no to someone I should be saying yes. Right. But we really do a service to the people in our lives when we are definitive about what we really feel, right? Like they say, every rejection is a favor. Like if I'm saying no to you because I don't want to do it, I'm doing you a favor.
Yeah, because you don't want to be half in it.
And exactly.
Like,
you don't want to be half in it and half out.
Right? And you don't even really want to be there. Like,
and you've had those times. I mean, I had a friend who helped me move one time. She didn't really want to do it. And, of course she made it like really... it was a lot of conflict and everything was a problem. It's like, you didn't have to say yes.
That's right.
I would have rather you say no.
That's right. You can say no. Yeah. And when you say yes, like, even like, if you don't want to be there, but you already said yes, be true to that.
Exactly.
Like have the right attitude, the right disposition, the right perspective.
Like align with your own word.
Yeah, exactly.
Like now that you've said yes, you might as well find a way to love it.
Get it together.
Get it together.
Get your mind
fix
right.
Fix your face.
Yeah, fix your face. Let's do this.
Right?
Because again, you didn't have to say yes. Yeah. You don't have to do anything. That's the thing. That's the thing with being grown. Yeah. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
So that's what I'm on.
And now that leads us into, and I love this is what I love about these conversations because it leads in so many different directions. I'm a big believer in the experience of joy. So it's like, even if you've obligated yourself to something and you've changed your mind, it's like, if you're going to go ahead and do it with joy. Absolutely. And have the experience be good no matter what.
Yeah, people can be blessed from that.
Absolutely.
Joy is contagious. Joy is infectious. So like, why not spread that? Why not do it with joy? Why have an attitude about it?
Right. Well, there you have it. We've just laid out life for everybody.
Y'all ready? Y'all good? Right. Get out there and go win.
Y'all say, hey, Elena. Hi, honey. I'm glad you're watching. All right, let's do another question. Okay. I want to get a couple good ones in because this hour goes by so fast and we're almost to the end of the hour.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Wow. Dang.
All right. Okay, if you were to change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
Ooh.
I know. You don't have to.
I'm not telling my mom.
Right? Your mom's going to be like, what you mean?
I'm going to think of a good answer. If I would change anything about the way I was raised, what would it be?
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
I don't think you have to make your people wrong in order to answer that question. It just means that, if you were going to change anything.
If I could change anything about the way I was raised. That's a darn good question. Let me think. Like for real, I'm going to try to come up with the answer quickly so it's not weird. Let me think. Sorry, y'all.
It's going to get weird.
Like, we don't want it to be dead air. All right, let me think. Change anything about the way I was raised.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know because, and I'm not trying to, I promise y'all, these aren't churchy answers and stuff like that. This is just.
You're not trying to be Pollyanna.
Nah, this is just really who I am.
Yeah.
I really, for real, believe. That's just why I'm struggling with that answer. And I guess this is my answer. I honestly wouldn't change anything because I really feel like everything that's happened in my life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, whatever you want to call it, it was meant to be, to shape me, to put me here
to grow you.
Right now, to talk to you, Candy, to talk to y'all, to grow me, to stretch me. It all shaped who I am.
Yeah.
So I honestly have never looked at life like I would change that. I don't.
Yeah.
I look at it like this is what it is.
Yeah.
Let's deal and let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, and this has been me since I was a kid. That's the only way I've ever known.
Yeah.
I mean, because like I haven't had like this pretty life, you know what I mean? In terms of like different things, like, so I'm good with what it was and what it is. I really am.
I love that.
I don't carry that weight
That's
around.
a fantastic answer.
It's the truth. That's all I can give you.
It's
the
part
truth.
of too
my truth.
Yeah, and I think it's your truth, but it's also something where like a lot of clients that I deal with, what we come around to is this understanding because a lot of the work I do around is healing the mother-daughter relationship, and this understanding that even if your mother was nothing like what you would want and nothing like you expected. Yeah. Everything that you experienced is meant to have you be who you are.
That's right.
And grow you.
That's right.
Find your purpose, align with who you want to be. Like none of it's a mistake, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And I'll flip it another way. Like I don't know if you guys are into superheroes like I am, but I'm into superheroes. I'm into Batman.
Are you?
In the Marvel Cinematic Universe and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I see all the movies like the night,
Thursday
night when they come out on IMAX, we buy tickets the day they go and say, oh
yeah. You're serious.
We're serious about it. They all have like all these superheroes have this dark past, like this bad thing that may have happened that led to them doing
what they do.
There's a reason why that's in our like folklore. Like this is like American folklore.
Yeah.
There's a reason, and I look at my like past and things that happened that way. I mean, that's Jesus' story.
Yeah.
His paternity was in question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was born broke and poor.
Right. In that manger.
You know what I mean? Right. Didn't have a place to sleep as an adult when he was out there. The Son of Man has no place to lay his head.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm just like, I'll take what I got. Yeah. And I'm going to work with that.
Right.
I'm going to work with the hand I got.
Yeah.
And we going to compare notes down the line.
Like it's the stone on which I was sharpened.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah. So I'm like, bring it on, man. And don't get me wrong. No one likes when bad stuff happens, but I'm rolling with it.
Yeah.
I'm for real. I'm rolling with it. Let's go.
Like, how can I use it? How can I make it work for me in some way?
Or better yet, how can God use it?
Yeah. Yeah.
What does God want to do with that?
Yeah.
To be a testimony for his goodness.
Yeah.
And, all of that good stuff.
I love it. Yeah. And it's perfect because I have one more question and then we have to go ahead and start wrapping up.
Man.
I know. It goes so fast.
No, it went does. Really, really fast.
Yeah. And you love the superheroes. So what is your superpower?
My superpower is my ability to connect with people.
Okay.
I can talk to anybody.
Yeah.
About anything.
That's cool.
And I know I got that from my mom.
Yeah.
Me and my brother would be super annoyed every time we went to the grocery store because
she's
like,
talking to somebody.
Talk to everybody in the store. And every time we come, can we go, please?
Right.
We go to the parking lot, just wait by the car, like we be out here.
Come on.
And I know I got that skill
and
gift from her.
That's so funny. My mom was the exact same way.
Oh, man.
And especially after church.
Right.
Like, come on. Because we always had to wear pantyhose and shoes and girdles, and we're in all these clothes and stuff. We're like, can we go?
Your head start tilting. Like,
exactly. Exactly.
So like, I know that's a gift because God has made me very relatable to people, and that makes people comfortable around me. So people come to me for advice and for comfort or just to be an ear. So I know that's something special that God gave me. Yeah. So I know that's one of my superpowers. I don't think it's the only one. I think that's one of them.
That's the one right now
exactly.
that we're looking at.
That's right.
Right? It's
the
good.
One right now.
Right? Xavier, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Coach Candy.
You have been a fantastic guest. I thought you would be.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I was happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you. I love that you're in this podcast world. I'm going to start following your podcast.
Check them out, man. Culture Now Streaming.
Yeah.
Showstopper. Just go on Spotify and search, or you can do spotify.com/Showstopper.
Okay.
And my episodes start at season 2 with 13 Reasons Why.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to put those links up on this post. So people who are, watching replays and things like that and, that are on right now. Hi, David. I see that you joined.
He gave you like 5 exclamation points, too.
He did.
That's the shout out. Kenny! You owe him some money?
Probably.
He's trying to find you. Like, I know you're going to be at that door when we go inside the studio.
I can't just say no. So, so we're wrapping up. Thank you so much, Xavier. Thank you for being an awesome guest.
And you're a great host. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
I like what you're doing here.
This is my passion. This is my purpose. I love also connecting with people and talking to them. And
you're walking in it.
I'm walking in it,
That's
honey.
a beautiful thing, man. She's good at what she does, y'all. Check her out.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it. And thank you guys on the Facebook Live, those of you who, got a chance to come in. And then also those of you who will be watching later. And you guys know I edit this for YouTube. I'm a little behind right now, but just keep up with us and you'll be able to see them. And you can also listen to the replays on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. But I do want to tell you guys about my coming up intensive, my Get Right with Mom for the Sake of Your Love Life intensive, otherwise known as the EPIC intensive. EPIC standing for Empowering Practices for Intimate Connections. We are turning abused daughters into phenomenal women. So if you think your lifelong relationship with your mother may be negatively impacting your love life, this is the intensive group coaching for you. If you want to heal, master the skills to create healthy relationships, start all over from a clean slate, and attract the ultimate love of your life, use the link on my business page, Candace Harper Love Coach, to apply and become a hashtag epic woman.
Oh.
Right?
Hashtag epic
woman. And can I tell you, EPIC, the EPIC intensive was created by our mutual friend, my CEO of marketing, Renee Nicholson, who is a creative genius.
Come on, Ren.
Come on, Ren. I had her, she read through the curriculum and, we sat down and downloaded it and she was like, this is what it needs to be called. I was like, girl.
And did she do the?
Well, I did it. I started the clap.
Renee's a clapper when she gets.
Well, she actually texted to me, so she might have text and then clap.
She should have sent the hand emojis in.
Right? Exactly.
This is what you
have to call it. So yeah, if you want to get into that, you want to apply for that, go ahead to my business page. You can follow me at Instagram at Candy Love Coach. As you guys know, this summer's theme is Badass Bachelors. And so I will be focusing on all the good men out there, for all the ladies or gentlemen that buy into the sad statistic and walk around with fulfilling your own prophecy. I want to prove to all of us that happy, single, over 35 men who are fulfilling and their spirituality and their purpose do exist.
Like me.
Like Xavier. Exactly. So if you know anyone you want to recommend, or if you are a badass bachelor, just reach out, get at me. And, I still have a few August dates left. They're filling up fast, though.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Get in there, y'all.
Right? And don't forget, like I said, watch the YouTube channel. And until next time, never forget that you are a love machine.
Never forget.
Never forget it. And if you ever start to feel like you aren't getting the love you need, just make more and ask for candy.
Ooh.
Yay.
Get you some candy.
Right? All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all. Peace.
All right, Xavier, it's up to you to stop the live. Xavier's closer to the phone, everybody.
I have really long arms. Watch this.
Watch that. Bye, everybody. See where, there you go. Perfect. That was so good.
Candy, I call my